This is a quick overview of the Brother Innovis-600. When you unpack the box, you should find what you can see here inside the box. Obviously the machine and stitch card which fits onto the machine. A bag full of all these accessories here. I won't go into too much detail on what's included with the machine because it can change from time to time. So I won't list all of this, but you can find an up-to-date list on our website. Instruction book and various documentation that comes with the machine. There's a walking foot, a side cutter, and this is your second spool holder if you want to do twin needle sewing, which fits onto the machine like that. There's a zipper foot and various different other feet with the machine as well. Power cable. This is a knee lifter and foot control. You'll also find an extension table and a hard cover. To fit the hard cover, just remove the stitch card and the hard cover slides over the top of the machine. The extension table fits onto the machine very easily, extending your working area. To remove the extension table, just pull it to the side. The accessory box fits back on. In the extension box, you'll also find an area for all your feet to fit and a handy area underneath that. We have a more detailed look around the machine now. Your thread would go on here and wind your bobbin here. There's some handy pictures around the machine to help remind you how to wind the bobbin and thread the machine up. Click this over to engage the bobbin winder. On the front of the machine you've got a start-stop button, so you can use it with or without the foot control. Reverse button, a needle up, needle down button, so you can always make the needle jump up or down. A built-in thread cutter which would cut the thread, and this will either act as a speed limiter or a speed control. So if we had that turned down, if we had the foot control plugged in and pushed it all the way to the floor, the machine would only chug along very slowly. If you turn it up, you'd have access to the full range of speed on the foot control. If you're using the machine without the foot control, then this acts as a speed control. So now the machine will only go very slowly. On the control panel here, this button here is like a menu key, so you can go in and change various settings on the machine. This button is an automatic thread cutter button, so you can program the machine to cut the threads at certain times within your stitch. This is for programming the machine to lock the stitch. This will program the machine to always stop up or down at the end of your seams. This is for setting the machine to do twin needle sewing, so it would limit how wide a stitch the machine will do. These two buttons here are for altering the thread tension on the machine. This button here and this button here are for altering the stitch width, and this up key and down key are for altering the stitch length. Buttons 1 to 9 are quick select keys for your most common type of stitch. The button that's lit up here is for programming different types of stitch. This button here is your general utility stitches. This button here is for choosing your decorative stitches, and this button here is for choosing different types of lettering. This back button would act as either a clear stroke delete button or backstep button. Stitch 0 is for choosing a standard type of buttonhole. OK key is for entering any settings into the machine. This is a memory key. This one's also a memory key, and this one's for clearing any alterations you may have made to the stitch length or width settings. Down here is where your knee lift would fit into the machine. I'll show you that. So as you move your knee across, it lifts the presser foot. It's handy if you're working on big items because you can have two hands free to hold the work and lift the presser foot using your knee. On the side of the machine, you've got the on and off switch. This is where your foot control plugs in, and this is where your power cable plugs in. On the back of the machine, you've got the switch for lowering and raising the feed dogs to do free machine embroidery or go back to normal sewing. On the top of the machine here, you've got a control for setting the foot pressure, so you can adjust how hard the foot pushes down on the fabric. On this side of the machine, you've got the needle threader and you've got a thread cutter.